I lost 15 pounds in 3 months at the age of 46. How did I do it? Stick around and keep on watching to find out. Hi everyone, it's Vanessa and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about my weight loss story and how I managed to drop 15 pounds in just 3 months and also kept it off. So before I dive in, I just want to mention that I am not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm just a 46-year-old woman sharing her weight loss story on the internet. For a little background story on my weight, I was a normal kid until the age of 10, and then I started developing. As a young woman, I managed to maintain my weight by not eating carbs, not eating sugar, and just restricting a lot. Now, when I hit 45, I started noticing that everything changed. What I had been doing previously to maintain my weight, or what I thought was a normal weight, just wasn't working anymore. I started to feel heavy, I started to feel bulky, even though I was still exercising and eating what I thought was super healthy. Last March, COVID happened. I lost my job at the hotel where I was working, and the surf camp that my husband and I own just shut down because there were no more tourists here. So I found myself at home with not much to do with my day. I started to do some research online and found this woman on YouTube who has a channel about the aging woman and how she likes to incorporate intermittent fasting. I watched a few of her videos. She's very interesting. I could totally relate to what she was saying. So I dug deeper and I did some research on the internet. That's my first tip: intermittent fasting. What is fasting? Fasting is when we are in a controlled or voluntary situation, denying food to our body for a specific reason. Fasting has been around forever. People fast for religious beliefs, political reason, and now it seems that people are incorporating fasting to improve their overall well-being. So we've been trained to feed our body every couple of hours to avoid putting it into starvation mode. But we have an amazing body which has been designed to thrive in a fasting environment. When you eat every couple of hours, you're not letting your body tap into its fat storage and burn it off efficiently. There are so many benefits to fasting, such as reducing inflammation, improving sleep, improving digestion, reversing diabetes, reversing the signs of aging, balancing your hormones. So when you practice intermittent fasting, losing weight doesn't happen because you're starving your body, because you're giving your body time to tap into its own food storage tanks. And your body just becomes a fat burning machine when it's in a fasted state. So how does intermittent fasting work? Basically, you cut up your 24-hour day into 2 windows. Your fasting window, where you are not eating, and your feasting window, where you're eating. The most common split is the 16 to 8. 16 hours of fasting and 8 hours of feasting. So how did that look for me? At 8 p.m., I would stop eating until the next day, 2 p.m., where I would start my feasting window. I would allow myself to eat for the next 8 hours, so from 2 p.m. until 8 p.m. And after that, I wouldn't eat anything until the following day. What I ate during these 8 hours of feasting is the next tip that I will develop further in this video. By practicing intermittent fasting, I started to feel amazing straight away. I slept better, my digestion was great, my mood was balanced, I wasn't bloated anymore. It was fantastic. So that's the first thing that I changed. I implemented intermittent fasting. Second thing that I changed was my diet and what I was actually eating during my 8-hour feasting window, because that made a big difference. Which brings me to my second tip, the starch solution. The starch solution is a way of eating followed by Dr. John McDougall, where you eat a high-starch, low-fat, plant-based diet. I did some research on that and found Dr. McDougall's book, which I will also link in the description box below. And he says that if you eat this way, you can reverse some signs of illness, and that weight loss is just a byproduct that will come with this way of eating. He also recommends eating whole foods and cutting out processed foods. Guys, I have tried everything out there, every diet on the planet, you name it. Sure, they would work. They would work great. And then as soon as I would go back to eating normal, I would put on the weight again, if not more. So frustrating. And he recommends using the 50-50 plate method if you want to lose weight faster. The 50-50 plate is basically where you have half of your plate with green veggies and the other half with starches. So at the beginning of this, I went into it by cutting out all animal products, eggs, fish, dairy, and processed oils. I also reduced nuts and seeds, avocados, and most of all, I eliminated cooking with processed oils. So this meant I had to learn how to cook completely differently. At the beginning of eating this way, it played a big mind game on me because where I come from, in France, starches are the enemy. And my mother used to repeat all of the time that I shouldn't eat potatoes, I shouldn't eat rice, I should stay away from beans because all those starches just made you fatter. So I was really scared to start eating this way. It wasn't easy at the beginning, but I mean, I had nothing to lose and I was convinced by the evidence that I saw online. So I would apply the 50-50 method plate with half of my plate being veggies like broccoli, green beans, or a nice salad, and the other half I could have either potatoes, I could have rice, I could have beans. It doesn't mean that you need to eat all your food bland and steamed. No, not at all. You can spice it up with so many things. I made my own sauces, I used sriracha, I used Tabasco, I used all of these different types of spices, especially where I live here in the south of Morocco. You have so many incredible spices and herbs that you can use to, brighten up your plate so it's not so bland. And if I was still hungry, I would just serve myself a second plate, but I would start with the veggies and not the starches. I was so surprised that this method worked because I started to lose weight immediately. I mean, this was crazy. I was never eating this much in my life, never. All of a sudden, I was allowed to have potatoes, I was allowed to have rice, I was even allowed to have pasta if I wanted it. And my weight was just dropping. It was incredible. I mean, I was never hungry. I never felt frustrated. It was like magic. To add to the benefits of intermittent fasting and the starch solution combined, I also changed up my exercise routine, which brings me to my third tip, movement. So I had always exercised. I was used to going to the gym, I would work out with friends. I mean, I never stayed sedentary. I was always moving. So I ended up switching my routine, and instead of working out 2 or 3 times a week for 1 hour, I started working out every single day for 30 minutes. This meant I did Pilates, I did fusion, yoga, strength training, cardio. Every single day, I would change up the way that I was moving my body. I would program my videos the night before so that I knew what I was doing in the morning, and then I would just get up an hour before everybody and go downstairs in the basement where I have my little setup, and I would just put my video on and start moving. And you guys, you don't need to go to the gym to move your body or to work out. I mean, we're in 2020. There is everything on the internet. You can find so many amazing workouts out there. For me, it became non-negotiable. I had to move my body. It's like when you have to go to work, you just put it into your routine and you just do it. At the beginning, I invested a little bit in some equipment, like some weights, a yoga mat, a ball, and some booty bands. There are tons of options, and you can do it all in the comfort of your own home. I mean, you don't even have to put on a nice exercise outfit. You can just go down in your pajamas if you feel like it. Now, what I did, and my friends think that I'm crazy, and I'll share it with you today. What I did and what I do, I sleep in my workout clothes so that when I get up, I just put on my tennis shoes, just take my equipment, walk downstairs, and do my thing. I mean, there are no excuses, guys. The weight is not going to come off like this. There's no magic pill, unfortunately, that you can take and that'll get rid of the weight. You just have to make some changes. I didn't even allow myself to think about it. I would just wake up, get up, drink my water, go downstairs, turn on my computer, and get my body moving. And I promise, at the end, when you're done with your workout, it gives you so much pleasure. You feel great, you feel energized, and you're ready to tackle the entire day. It takes dedication, but in the end, it's worth it, because I don't know about you, but if I feel better, I feel more confident, I'm happier, I'm a better person. I can take care of my family better. I can take care of my friends better. I'm just more enjoyable to be around. I mean, my kids notice when I've exercised or if I haven't, because they'll see it on my mood. So, these 3 things that I adopted: intermittent fasting, the starch solution way of eating, and moving my body more frequently, are what allowed me to lose those 15 pounds in 3 months and keep them off.
So I just wanted to take a second and show you guys the difference in the photos. On the left, that was taken in March, and on the right, that was taken about 3 months later. And you can clearly see the difference. I mean, not that I was huge back in March, I was fine. I mean, being 46 and having had 3 kids, but look at the difference. I mean, it's just incredible, and it's really by not changing much. So I just wanted to show you guys that. And this is a picture that I took of myself this weekend. So as you can see, I haven't put on the weight back, and I've never felt better.
Now that I've achieved my weight loss, I've been able to incorporate some things back into my diet, such as nuts, seeds, avocado, nut butter, and even bread. I still do some form of exercise every single day, and I also still do intermittent fasting. The only thing that I'm a little bit more flexible with now that the weight has come off is what I allow myself to eat. So I hope this video was helpful for you. I will link to everyone that I mentioned down in the description box below, as well as some amazing trainers that are on YouTube and that you can work out with. So if you like this kind of content and would like to see more of what I eat to stay slim and how to feel and look younger than your age, then please subscribe to my channel, because that's the kind of content that I like to do. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below and I'll get back to you. Bye guys.